805 kilometers. That's right. This car has an electric driving range of 805 kilometers. It's an impressive figure, yes, but there is a lot more to the all-new BMW iX3 than just driving range. And yes, I do mean all new. It's the most technologically advanced car the brand has ever built, and it's tasked with BMW's transformation. So, no pressure then. So we've had a little bit of a taster at the international launch before its mid-2026 Australian launch. Let's check out and see if the future looks bright for BMW. So BMW's only revealed the iX3 in dual motor 50 xDrive, guys, but you can bet there's going to be a lot more variants on the way. BMW Australia hasn't given any indication of pricing, but if you think about the rivals like Porsche Macan or Audi Q6 e-tron, and considering the European pricing, this thing could be about $130,000. Of course, there will be more affordable variants coming. Don't forget to keep an eye on carsguide.com.au for price and specs when they lob. So, we covered this quite a bit at the Munich Motor Show a couple of months ago, but get used to this design because this face and a few other design elements are going to show up across the BMW range. Neue Klasse will be the new design language. It's really interesting. In the metal, I've been quite a fan of this back at the IAA show, and having spent a couple of days with it here in Spain, it is a really lovely car in the metal. It's sophisticated, it's understated, there's an elegance to it, there's not too many lines, it's not fussy. I think this is a classic design, and it's going to be really interesting to see how this rolls out to other models, including the next 3 Series. So this right here is the future of BMW design. It's a tech head's dream in here. In terms of the actual design, it is minimalist, but with a bit of an interesting flair. BMW's using a lot of sustainable materials throughout the cabin as well. But as you can see, there are some really lovely M Sport seats in this M Sport Pro version. So still a little bit of sporty BMW vibe as well. This particular grade I'm in has the M Sport steering wheel. So as you can see, it doesn't have the 12 o'clock spoke. I think I prefer this one more than the other one, but it's a really lovely little wheel to hold as well. So whoever buys this car is going to have to sit down and have a bit of time with the person at the dealership to go through all of the tech, because it's quite overwhelming. On the road, different story. We'll come back to that in a little bit, but just, you know, in terms of drive modes, working out where things are, you've got the home screen, which is what we're looking at now. Please, no judgment. I don't listen to Adele. She is showing up here though. But if you press that again, it comes up with all of the app widgets that might be familiar to BMW owners. This is a lot neater than the previous versions that they've used. You've also got drive modes that you can select, personalize, all of that kind of stuff. But you would be wise to spend some time to get to know this system because it's dense, not in a dumb way. So there's been a lot of talk about BMW's panoramic vision, which is their version of an instrument cluster. Now it runs from A pillar to A pillar all the way across. You no longer have a screen here behind the steering wheel. It is a projection at the bottom of the windscreen. It's really interesting to use in practice. This thing works very well. I wasn't sure how it was going to work when I first saw it at the Munich Motor Show, but on the road over the last couple of days, it's pretty much worked without fault. If you find you're going to get distracted by some of the display on the passenger side, you can easily get rid of that here in the system. You can't change what's in front of you as the driver, which makes sense. You need that information. When I was sitting at IAA looking at it, I was thinking, how is this going to work? It is a really smart system, revolutionary, I would suggest, and I think they've done it really, really well. So in the back seat, I'm sitting behind my 6-foot tall driving position, and as you can see, I've got a decent amount of leg room. Lots of toe room, plenty of knee room, and acres of headroom, even with this massive panoramic sunroof, which also is quite good at keeping out the sun, unlike some of its competitors. The seats are obviously a bit flatter than up front, not as much support, but they're still comfortable. Will they be this comfortable over a long drive? I'm not so sure, but they're not super firm. The material's lovely as well. In terms of amenities, you've got the fold-down armrest and a couple of cup holders. You've got climate control back here, a couple of air vents, and of course a couple of USB-C ports. No map pockets, but do people really need map pockets these days? Just one grade has been detailed for now, the 50 xDrive dual motor all-wheel drive, which pumps out 345 kilowatts of power and 645 newton meters of torque, with a 4.9 second 0 to 100 km/h time. It has an 800 volt all-new architecture, peak charging rate of 400 kilowatts, cylindrical cells in the new battery, and, as mentioned, driving range of up to 805 kilometres WLTP. To say that there's been a lot of anticipation for the new iX3 is a dramatic understatement. There's a lot of hype around this car. BMW is talking up how much of a generational change it is. So, you know, I go into these things with a bit of healthy skepticism, but I've got to say, I am deeply impressed with this car. It's an EV, so no surprises. It goes very fast in a straight line, especially from a standing start, but there is much more to how this car drives that I don't even think I've got time in this video to talk about. It just sits so flat in corners. And again, this is a medium-sized SUV. It's a family car. It has no business being this planted to the ground. You maybe think with a European car that does well in corners that perhaps the ride would be a little bit firm, but that's been the other real surprise of the iX3, is that there is no real firmness at all. The only thing is, I would say the M Sport Pro has a slightly sharper ride than just the regular M Sport version, but certainly no deal breaker. It's still pretty supple and just lovely on the roads we've been driving on. One of my favorite things about this car is how it steers. It doesn't feel overly heavy or overly light. It's just, like so many things about this car, it's just smooth and it just works. It's not too darty, but, you know, point in the direction you want to go and it'll do it. It's just lovely. BMW has also done a bang-up job at keeping a lot of noise out of the cabin. It's surprisingly quiet in here. I know it's an EV, but a lot of EVs, because there's no engine, you can hear a lot of external noise. Not the case with this car. This honestly is one of the best EVs I think I've ever driven. It's just enjoyable, engaging, fun, comfortable, quiet, luxurious, and there's a character to it. It does have soul, which so many don't. And I think BMW has really kind of ensured that it has that BMW-ness to it, and I'm so glad they have. Obviously, we're going to have to wait until we drive this car on Australian roads because we're on European roads. They've all been very lovely, but let's wait until mid next year and find out how it goes on some of Australia's less fabulous roads. So I've spent a couple of days with the BMW iX3. Is this car as transformative as BMW says it is? The iX3 truly is a once-in-a-generation car for BMW, and it is a standout, not just among its direct rivals. BMW's not messing around. There's a confidence to this car that's undeniable. It's an exceptional vehicle in so many ways, and I'm keen to drive it in Australia. For more on the BMW iX3, head to carsguide.com.au.